So guys, now please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, I'm audible, guys. Now please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, I'm audible. Is my screen is visible to all of you guys? Now please confirm to me. Is my screen and voice is clear to all of you guys? Please confirm to me. Am I audible? Yeah. Right. Good evening, guys. And check it what we completed in the last session. So object orientation part we started. In object orientation, just introduction parts are given. In that introduction, we have seen the types of programming languages that we understood. Okay, types of programming languages. Abhi, types of programming languages. Here we understood. Right. Tell me, sir. All of you know answer for my questions. To prepare the applications, how many types of programming languages are available? 4 types. What are the 4 types of the programming languages? Unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, object-oriented programming languages, aspect-oriented programming languages. There are given some differences between unstructured programming languages and structured programming languages. So if we want to see the differences between unstructured and structured programming languages, unstructured programming languages are outdated programming languages. They were introduced at the starting point of the computer science, and they are not suitable for the at present application requirements. But structured programming languages are not the outdated programming languages. They are suitable for the present application requirements. Unstructured programming languages are not having any proper structure to prepare the applications, whereas structured programming languages are having proper structure to prepare the applications. Unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes. They're available in very less number and they will provide less number of features to the applications. Whereas structured programming languages are using high level syntaxes. They are available in more numbers and they will provide more features to the applications. So application development is very simple. In unstructured programming languages, to define flow of execution, we will use only one go-to statement, only one alternative to use to define flow of execution, that is what their go-to statement. But in structured programming languages, we are able to use number of flow controllers, like what there, if, switch, for, while, do while, break, continue, and so on, so many features. Unstructured programming languages are not having functions. It will increase code redundancy. Structured programming languages are using functions feature. It will improve code reusability. Then after that, we are having one more question. What are the differences between structured programming languages and object-oriented programming languages? Structured programming languages are providing a difficult approach to prepare the applications, whereas object-oriented programming languages are providing a simple approach to prepare the applications. Structured programming languages are providing less modularization. Object-oriented programming languages are providing a very good support for modularization. Structured programming languages are not providing good abstraction, but object-oriented programming languages are providing very good abstraction. Security is not good in structured programming languages. Security is very good in object-oriented programming languages. Shareability is not good in structured programming languages. Shareability is very good in object-oriented programming languages. Reusability is not good in structured programming languages. Reusability is very good in object-oriented programming languages. That's it. These are overall the topics what we understood in the last class. Leave it. All right, sir. Now coming to the point, aspect oriented programming languages. Aspect oriented programming languages. Aspect oriented programming languages. Right. First of all, I'm giving one direct statement to you. Try to observe carefully. Aspect oriented programming languages is a wrong terminology. Aspect oriented programming languages is what there is a wrong terminology. Why? Because no programming language is defined on the basis of the aspect orientation. No programming language is defined on the basis of the aspect orientation. Object oriented programming languages are existed. Number of programming languages are defined on the basis of the object orientation. C++, Java, Python, C#, .NET, all these are object oriented programming languages. They are defined on the basis of the object orientation. But aspect oriented programming languages is a wrong statement. No programming language is defined on the basis of the aspect orientation. Remember this point. Clear? After that, after completion of this, but what is right terminology? Aspect oriented programming languages is a wrong terminology. Understood that. But what is right terminology? All right. Right terminology is what there. Aspect orientation is a right terminology. What it is actually? Aspect orientation is the right terminology. What is this aspect orientation? Aspect orientation is a set of rules and regulations, or any terminology we can use. It is a set of rules and regulations, or a set of conventions, a set of conventions, or before that, aspect orientation is a methodology, or a set of rules and regulations, or a set of conventions applied on the object orientation in order to improve shareability and reusability. That's it. This is exactly the meaning of what their aspect orientation. Again and again I'm telling to you, observe carefully. No programming language is existed on the basis of the aspect orientation. But aspect orientation is a methodology. Aspect orientation is a set of rules and regulations, or it is a set of conventions which are applied on the object oriented programming. The basic level programming is what there, which are applied on the object oriented programming in order to improve reusability and shareability. This is exactly the meaning of what there aspect orientation. All of you are getting it now clearly? All right, sir. Somewhat through diagram, I'm going to explain the content here. Try to put more concentration. For example, before this aspect orientation, what programming languages are available? Object oriented programming languages are available. How we are going to prepare applications by using object oriented programming languages? No. What is a strategy we are going to follow to prepare applications by using object oriented programming languages? If you think about it, answer is very clear. In object oriented programming languages, in object orientation, or else maybe instead of saying that, in object orientation, we will prepare the applications by combining business logic and services logic. Right, sir. It's somewhat difficult terminology I'm going to use, but try to put more concentration. Easily we can understand them. I will explain each and every point, but our attention is very, very important today. Why? Because almost all these concepts I'm going to discuss there at a frameworks level, but that introduction is required now. That introduction is required to understand effectively that aspect orientation. Okay, right. Put more concentration. I'm going to give very good clarity. Right. In object orientation, we will prepare the applications by combining what? Business logic and services logic. Right. This is the approach we are following to prepare the applications by using object orientation. Now, I have a question now. What is business logic and what is services logic? At least we have to understand that point. After that, we are going to see the requirement to go for what their aspect orientation. What is business logic and what is services logic? I'll take some examples to you. Now try to understand it clearly. I think all of you are having Gmail account. Am I right? Gmail account. When we open our Gmail on browser www.gmail.com, when we provide this, immediately what we are getting? Login page we are getting. Understand my point here? Login page we are getting. There we are going to enter username and password. In the case if you are not having any Gmail account, there is an option like what there? Either sign up or create account option is available. You may click on it. A registration form will open. There we are going to enter the data. Finally, we are going to create an account. Again, we are going to open login page. There we are going to enter username and password. Then we will get our Gmail account page. This is a process. Remember carefully. The Gmail is an application which is checking the user on the basis of the username and password, whether this person is the right person or not to access the Gmail, whether the person is the right person or not to access the Gmail account, Gmail application. That initial checkup is available. That is called authentication. The process is called what there? Authentication. Clear? Leave this one. I think all of you are having Facebook account. Facebook.com. If you put there on the address bar of the browser, again what we are getting there? Again we are getting the same login page or not? In the login page, again it is asking username and password or not. If you're not having username and password there, again there we are having sign up process or not, or create account option or not. And we select it, again registration form we are able to get. Again we are going to enter the data. Again we are going to click on what there? Register button. Automatically that account will be created. Again we will get that login page. There we will enter username and password. Gmail is a separate application. Facebook is what there? Separate application. Like this, if we take 100 applications in internet, in every application, authentication is a common process or not? Getting the login page is a common thing at each and every application or not? So whenever this authentication is a common factor, common service, common thing at each and every application, then that common thing is nothing but a service. That common thing is what there? A service. For preparing that service, we are using some logic. That logic is what there? Service logic. Authentication is one of the service in every application. Next up, checking whether our data is valid or not. That is also another process. Say for example, in Gmail we are getting one registration page where might be you entered some details now. When we click on register button, before storing the data into the databases, first Gmail application has to check whether this data is right data or not. So best example is what their password checkups are available. Minimum some 8 characters we have to maintain, where some digits or maybe some special symbols also, or maybe some numbers we can provide, where like what there some different rules and regulations are available, but we enter some password data, but the data is validated or wrong. The data is validated or not. Whether the data is right or wrong, then immediately we are getting some red color information. Password is incorrect, password is not good, password is a weak password, or else it is a strong password. Like this we are able to get some data validation or not. Not only that, in the case if you are having user age field, for example, or maybe date of birth field, if you are having there, what is the date of birth value here? We have to provide at least one past date we have to provide or not. In the case if we provide a future date, that data must not be allowed by our application. Our application has to take our data. It has to check whether the data is the right data or wrong data before using the data in our application logic. That we have to check. The process of checking whether the data is valid or not. The process of checking whether data is valid or not is called as data validation. Now tell me, this data validation part is common to each and every application or not? The data validations is a process that is required at each and every application or not? In every application, this is a common process. Authentication is one common thing. Data validations is another common thing. Like this, internationalization is another concept. Exception handling is another concept. Observe carefully, all of you know. So all these are what they're common to each and every application. So once these are common to each and every application, we will call them, we used to call them as a services. The common activities at each and every application are what they're services. Got it what I'm telling you know? Okay. The logic we are going to use to prepare these services is called as what their services logic. Services logic. They are required at each and every application. Remember this point. Okay, sir. Services logic, I understood. That's nice. But what is this business logic? What is the meaning of this business logic? I want to know that information. Right, sir? Very clear. I'm going to give one more example. Try to observe this example. Some e-commerce applications are available in outside. Are you aware about it? E-commerce applications, Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, and so on. So many number of e-commerce applications are available for online shopping, right? For example, Amazon.com is giving one offer for the customers. What is that offer there? If we take items more than 10,000, for the next item, we will get 50% off. Example I'm telling them. This offer is going to be available in Amazon.com. Think about it. If we purchase items up to 10,000, for the next item, we will get that next item within 50% only. Getting it what I'm telling now. 50% off we are able to get over the 10,000 purchases. This is Amazon. What Amazon is giving. Sir, all of you are following my point now, what I'm telling there? It's not real. As an example, I'm telling that. Don't check in Amazon.com now. Understand it now. Just I'm giving example point of view. Okay, fine. On which occasion it has provided care? For example, August 15th occasion. Independence Day sale. There they are giving this offer. At the same time, if you open Flipkart.com, there what they are giving the offer there? If you purchase up to 5,000, in the next item we are able to get 35%. In Amazon.com, what is the offer here? Over the 10,000 purchases, next items we are able to get within what there 50% off. In Flipkart.com, over the 5,000, if you purchase anything, in the next items we are able to get only what there 35% off we are able to get. But consolation, what I'm telling you, see that concessions or that payment of is varied from one e-commerce application to another e-commerce application or not. That is not common. Understand my point here? That is variable. That is dependent on the e-commerce applications. Observe carefully what I'm telling you. That is dependent on what the e-commerce applications. Amazon has given its own. Flipkart is giving its own. So for that offers also we have to write our logic or not. In Amazon.com, first of all we have to check whether that customer has purchased all the items up to 10,000 or not. That we have to check first. Still is purchasing next item. Still is taking next item. Then immediately we are going to calculate the payment for the next item with the 50% off or not. Then for that we have to write some logic or not. This is the rule. 50% off for the next items over the 10,000 purchases. That is a business rule of e-commerce application. That is what their business rule. For that business rule, we have to provide logic or not. That logic is called business logic. That logic is called what their business logic. If you go to the Flipkart.com, over the 5,000 purchases, next item we are able to get with a 35% off. There again, as a developer, if you want to prepare that Flipkart.com, then I have to define that business logic, the business rule or not. What is the business rule here? Over the 5,000 purchases, next item we are able to get with what there 35% off. So that we have to write define in our program or not. That we have to implement the logic or not. That logic is called as what there? Business logic. That rule is what there? Business rule. Now tell me, business rules and regulations, business logics are individual to the applications. They are not common to the all applications. All of you get my point here? This is called as what there? Business logic. And previously common activities are available. They're what there? Services. Right. Now tell me, in any enterprise application, both the services, business, logics, both must be required or not? If we take any enterprise application, there we have to provide both the business logic and services logics we have to provide or not? Then if we provide both of them in a combined manner, if we prepare applications by combining business logic and services logic there, then the mode of languages, the mode of orientation is what there? Object orientation. That is a style of writing the programs in object orientation. In object orientation style, how we are going to prepare the applications? We are going to prepare the applications by combining both the business logic and services logic. Is that clear? All of you are getting clarity on this now? Just give a minute of time. I will give a diagrammatic representation. We are able to understand it clearly. In object orientation, we will prepare the applications by combining business logic and services logic. It will provide lesser shareability and lesser reusability. Lesser shareability and lesser reusability. Let me prepare the diagram here. Now observe carefully. Yeah, it's okay, fine, no problem. Now put more concentration, all of you know. This is my application. Right. This is application 1. Similarly, this is application 2. I prepared 2 applications. Two applications here I'm going to prepare. So think of them, both are what their enterprise applications. Not like standalone applications, enterprise applications. Okay. Now inside this, I'm going to provide business logic and services logic in a combined fashion. First of all, authentication service. Authentication service. Next one is some business logic here we are going to provide. Next one is data validations service. Next one is what there? Business logic. Business logic. After that, internationalization. Even if you're not aware about the terminology, no need to worry for it. Just so you can understand there, except the business logic, everything I'm providing it is what there? Services logics. Now this is like what there? Business logic. Like this here we provided some content. Internationalization. Okay. This is actually the approach we are going to follow to prepare what their applications in object orientation. Tell me, all of you now tell me, how many applications here we are preparing? 2 applications, application 1 and application 2. I prepared both applications by using what their object orientation style. What is that object orientation style? There we combine both the business logics and as well as what their services logics. That is a style of writing programs in what? Object orientation. Now tell me, in this situation, in this scenario, where we are providing shareability and where we are having reusability? First of all, tell me, what is the meaning of shareability here? If I define service one time, that I have to share to multiple programs. But here, two programs are prepared. At each and every program separately, we provided authentication and data validations and internationalization or not. The services are defined at each and every application individually or not. But where we are providing shareability, if it is a style, no, leave it. Reusability. If we define service one time, that we have to reuse multiple times. Number of times we are going to reuse it in multiple applications. But what happened here in this approach now? In application one separately we define services. In application two we define what their services separately. Then where is the chance of getting reusability and shareability here in these examples? Have you got any shareability and reusability through these approaches? No. No. At each and every application, we define services individually. Of course, same services, logic is very same, but we have repeated at each and every application separately. So this approach is not providing good reusability and what next one here, shareability. This approach is not providing reusability and shareability. There's a problem here now. Okay, right. Now observe carefully. In the above object oriented programming, to improve shareability and reusability, we have to apply aspect orientation over the object oriented programming. We have to apply what there, aspect orientation over the object oriented programming. What we are going to do in aspect orientation? We are ready to apply that aspect orientation, but what we will do in aspect orientation? Listen carefully. In aspect orientation, we will perform the following actions. What actions here we are going to perform there? All of you observe carefully. Point number 1. Separate the services logic from the business logic. Don't provide both in a combined fashion. Separate the services from the business logic. Number 2. Declare each and every service as an aspect. Declare each and every service as an aspect. Okay. All right. Next one is what? Inject the services to the enterprise applications at a runtime. That's it. These are the three activities that we are going to do in the case of like what their aspect orientation. Please read out this. What activities here we are going to do, what actions here we are going to do. If you want to imply aspect orientation over the object oriented programming, what we have to do, what is the first step now? Separate the services logic from what their business logic. Nice. What next one here? Declare each and every service as what their an aspect. Next one is what there? Inject the services to the enterprise applications at what time here? Runtime. Yeah, let us apply the same thing in the diagram. Correct. Now observe carefully. Guys, all of you are following the points now? Feeling any difficulty? Nothing. Very clear. Each and every point I'm giving clarity. I discussed with you what is business logic. Business logic is individual to the application. That is varied from application to application. That is as per the client requirement, logic is going to be implemented. What is services logic? Service is a common thing at each and every application. Okay. What is object orientation style of writing programs? By combining both the business logic and services logic as a single, we are going to prepare the applications. That is what their object orientation. What is the problem with this approach? No reusability, no shareability. To improve reusability and shareability, what we have to apply? Aspect orientation we have to apply. In aspect orientation, what we are going to do? That I will do now. Observe carefully. First of all, separate services logics from what their business logic. Now I want to separate this one. Here also be data validation is one of the service. Separate the service from what their business logic. Next one is what there, separate this internationalization. This is also one of the service from the business logic. Okay, here also we have separated it. Just we can remove this, not required. Already we provided this. All right, sir. Internationalization is also not required here. It's okay, fine. Now tell me, from both the applications, we separated what there? We separated services from the business logics. Nice. After that, declare each and every service as what there? An aspect. Declare each and every service is what there? An aspect. Just I want to give some names. Now observe carefully. Aspect 1. Or else maybe we can call it as an authentication aspect. Either any name we can provide there. Aspect 1. Now this is like what there? Aspect 2. Now this is like what there? Aspect 3. Observe carefully. So we separated services logic from business logic. We declared each and every service as an aspect. Next one is inject these aspects to the applications at runtime. How I'm going to inject these aspects to the applications at runtime? Observe carefully. If you want to inject them, first of all, we have to define join points in the application where we are going to apply the aspects. In enterprise applications, we have to put the points where we are going to inject the aspects. Now I'm going to select some pinpoints here. Observe carefully. This is one pinpoint, this is one other pinpoint, this is another pinpoint. Similarly, here we require this is one pinpoint, this is another pinpoint, this is another pinpoint. In these points only I required what their aspects. That points are called as what their join points. The points are what their join points. After that, inject these aspects to what their join points into the enterprise applications. Now we are going to inject this authentication to this location, authentication to this location. Here also be authentication to this location and here in this location. This internationalization to this location, this internationalization to what there in this location. Now tell me, I'm asking this question to you. In the previous example, in object orientation style, out of all the two applications, in both the applications, how many copies of authentication we provided here? 2 copies we maintained. For both application, 2 copies we maintained. How many copies of data validations we provided here? 2 copies. And for both applications, how many copies of internationalization we provided? 2 copies of internationalization here we provided. That is the reason why we said that, we concluded that no shareability, no reusability in object orientation style. But now observe carefully, behalf of these two applications, for both the applications, how many copies of authentication I prepared? Only 1 copy. How many copies of data validations I prepared? 1 copy. How many copies of internationalization I prepared? Only 1 copy. But the single copy of the authentication will be shared to both the applications at a time or not? Single copy of data validations will be shared to both applications or not? The single copy of the internationalization will be shared to both the applications or not? Again, I'm telling that what is authentication, what is data validation, what is internationalization, not required. Just leave all the points here. But what I require the point here, no, these are the services. That services are required at each and every enterprise application. Previously, for each and every application, a separate copy I provided. But at present, for both the application, for all 10 applications, single copy of services I'm providing. That single copy of services will be shared to all the applications. Understand my point here? Single copy of services will be shared to all the applications. Now, shareability is improved or not? Come on, guys. Shareability is improved or not? The point number 1, I achieved it. Listen, one more point here I'm telling there. Here itself, I'm going to give the definition for reusability also. How many applications are used by this? How many applications are using these services now? Single copy of services are used by both applications or not? All right, automatically reusability is also available. Not like 2 applications, 10 applications are available. All 10 applications can use the same services, same copy of services or not. There also we are able to get what their reusability. But separately, I'm going to define that reusability again. Try to understand it clearly. For example, listen carefully. For example, this is a join point 1. I want to give some join point names also. For example, join point 1. Join point 2, Guys, can you tell me what is join point actually? What is a join point, or how we are going to define the join point? Join point is a point where services are going to be injected. Join point is a point in the enterprise applications where services are going to be injected. Similarly, here we are going to provide like what there, join point 3. Similarly, join point 2, for example, they are the applications actually. At each and every application, separate things are available. Join point 1. All of you understand it clearly. As per the requirement, at the join point 1, I may need authentication as well as data validations also. Maybe requirements will come like that. At the join point 1, what services are required? Previously, we have seen only one service at join point 1, that is authentication. Maybe as per my application requirement, at the join point 1, authentication as well as what the data validations, both are required. Yes, still we can provide that both. Now, what I'm telling there, now at join point 1, we can apply like what there, authentication as well as what there, data validations. At the join point 2, data validations and internationalization both are required. Yes, we can apply. At the join point 3, internationalization as well as what there, authentication both are required. Yes, we can apply. In the same way, in application 2, at join point 1, internationalization and authentication both are required. At the join point 2, authentication and data validations are required. At the join point 3, data validations and internationalization are required. Yes, we can utilize like this. Now tell me, in a single application, in application 1, how many times that authentication is reused? Now tell me. Come on guys, in application 1, how many times we have used that authentication? At join point 1, we have used authentication. At join point 3, we have used authentication or not? That is 2 times. More than 1 time we have used authentication or not? Is it not reusability? Is it not the reusability in a single application? As it is possible, we can apply more than one service to a single join point in our enterprise application. That is depending on our application requirement. Definitely it is possible here now. So in a single application, a service will be used again and again as per the requirement. Then automatically we are able to get what their reusability. Then automatically we are able to get what their reusability. Similarly, we can understand it in application 1, 2 times I have used authentication service, 2 times I have used data validation service, 2 times I have used what their internationalization service. The 2 times in the sense more than 1 time. More than 1 time in the sense the same service we have used again and again. Same service using again and again in the sense what their reusability. There we are able to achieve what their reusability. What I'm telling you now. This is aspect orientation. Now tell me here, shareability as well as reusability both are achieved or not? But this is lack in the case of what their object orientation. But this is an advantage in the case of what their aspect orientation. All of you observe carefully. Right, so now this is exactly the meaning of like what their object, that means aspect orientation process here we applied. Now I'm giving clarity. The above approach is able to improve reusability and shareability in the enterprise applications. The above approach is able to improve reusability and as well as what their shareability in the enterprise applications. That's it. This is finally the point here we can understand clearly. But I have a question now, where we are going to use this aspect orientation, where we are going to utilize the aspect orientation. I'm giving directly the point, observe carefully. Right, sir. Now understand it. In general, aspect orientation is not much useful in the project's development. It is very much useful. It is very much useful in the products development, like frameworks, example spring framework. Example what is spring framework? Spring framework uses effectively the aspect orientation as part of the spring applications. Spring is one of the frameworks, sir. Now we are going to understand core Java. After the core Java, advanced Java. After the advanced Java, then what topic we are going to provide there? Spring framework. We are going to start. Inside the Spring framework, there is a separate module for aspect orientation. That module is what there? AOP module. Aspect oriented programming. There we are going to see as is examples. What are the diagrams I shown there? Then I'm able to show practically that examples. Understand my point clearly now? Okay. In general, aspect orientation is not very much useful. Is not very much useful in the projects development. It is very much useful in the products development, like what their frameworks. Example is what their Spring framework. Yes. Tell me, all of you are getting clarity on these points now? Just at least minimal awareness. Are you getting it now? What is aspect orientation? How it is required? All of you are getting clarity on this. Where this aspect orientation is much useful in the project development or products development? Products development. Tell me any example for product now. Spring framework. In Spring framework, aspect orientation is going on in a more effective manner. A separate module is provided for aspect orientation. What is that module actually? AOP module. Module name is what there? AOP module. What is that AOP? Aspect oriented programming in Spring framework. Okay. Again, we will see the topic there in a Spring framework content. All right, sir. What is the benefit we are able to get from this aspect orientation Spring framework? What benefits can we are able to get? Why Spring framework is still very demanded framework in outside? And outside so many frameworks are available, but still why Spring framework is having very good demand now? Right. I'll give some simple example. Try to understand this example now. Simple, very simple example I'm telling you. Try to observe carefully. For example, you want to go for a movie. Understand this example. You want to go for a movie. And on Sunday, you want to go for a movie. Okay. But you need nearly 3 tickets. Right, sir? Why three tickets? No. For yourself, for your 2 girlfriends, right? Is it possible with 2 girlfriends? Possible, no? Sometimes possible, no? Not sometimes, no. Not possible every time, right? Fine. You will not see, you will not watch that movie maximum. Fine, sir. Whatever it may be. You require some 3 tickets. That movie is very good movie. On Sunday, you know already that rush is going on at theaters, no? Unfortunately, you didn't have tickets. Now the movie show time is at evening 6 p.m. for example. Now the time is 4 o'clock. Your girlfriends call to you. They are asking, and then are you getting ready the tickets or not? Are these tickets are available with you or not? What about our plan? Then you are thinking about it. You want to go to the theater and you want to stand in the queue. Then you want to get the tickets. Okay. But unfortunately, what happened? Now the time is what there 5 o'clock, but still you are not having tickets, no? But you are in a bit of tensions, right? Already you called up your girlfriend there, right, for the movie. If no tickets are available, they are going to be disappointed. Your life is going to be corrupted there itself. Fine, understand it now. All of a sudden, you're getting ready to move outside to go for the theater. All of a sudden, your door bell is ringing. You open the door, just you observe it, what is going on there in outside. One person with a uniform is standing in front of you. He has given 3 tickets to you for the same movie. You didn't send request to any person there, any person to bring tickets. But one person coming to your house is giving the tickets to you directly. You are shocked. Then you saw that tickets there. Then the same theater, same movie, whatever the movie you want to watch it, no, the same for that movie tickets are coming. Then if you ask to him, why I'm getting these tickets there, how you are giving these tickets to me, why you are giving these tickets to me, but he might be giving the reply is what there. So yesterday night at GVK1 mall, you had some shopping along with your 2 girlfriends. One of your girlfriend has filled your coupon, lucky coupon. Unfortunately, your girlfriend is selected, but she has given your number and your address. That's why I'm giving the tickets. No? That's the story. Forget about this coupon, lucky coupon, girlfriend is filling them. Just forget it. No? But the point is what? You need one service. That service is available to you automatically or not? You didn't send any request. That GVK1 mall people understood your requirement. They are sending your required services to you at your doorstep or not? Understand my point? You are the person, you required a service, but somebody else understood your requirement. Somebody else have sent that service to you automatically or not? This is what Spring Framework is doing for the applications. Exactly, this is what Spring Framework is doing for its applications. If you want to prepare enterprise applications by using Spring Framework, applications are not required to send any request to the Spring Framework. Applications are not required to send any request to the Spring Framework. Rather, Spring Framework will come to your application. Spring Framework will understand your required services. Spring Framework will provide your required services automatically to our application. You are not asking any request to the Spring Framework. Please provide this particular service. No, we are not sending any request. But Spring Framework will come to you. Spring Framework will understand your required services, and Spring Framework will provide your required services to your application. But you are not providing any request for the Spring Framework to get some services. This is what Spring Framework is providing the option. This is what Spring Framework is giving environment for its applications. Because of that reason only, Spring Framework is getting very good demand in outside when compared with all other frameworks. Because of this reason only, Spring Framework is leading the market. Observe carefully what I'm telling you. Okay, fine. But how is it possible for Spring Framework to provide these services automatically to the enterprise applications? How is it possible for the Spring Framework to provide these services? No. Right. There I'm giving the clarity. The point is what there. Spring Framework is providing this kind of support for its applications is because of two modules. Because of the dependency injection. 1 minute. I think guys just give a minute of time. Right, sir. Right, now understand it now. How is it possible for the Spring Framework to provide this type of support now? Is because of two modules in Spring Framework. The first one is what there? Dependency injection. Dependency injection. And the second one is what there? AOP, aspect orientation. Because of these two modules only, Spring Framework is able to provide this much of support for its applications. When our application required any service now, without getting any request from the application, our Spring Framework is providing that required services to the applications automatically. That is because of two modules inside the Spring Framework, because of two things inside the Spring Framework. One is what there? Aspect orientation. Another one is what there? Dependency injection. That's it. Because of that reason, Spring Framework is providing its services effectively to its applications directly. Has it got it? So this is the total information here we can understand. Not required. The later part is not required in our document here, but required information are given. Leave this punch here. So this is overall the types of applications in our enterprise. That means types of the applications what we are having. Leave this content here. Types of applications here we completed. After completion of the types of applications, the next topic is like what there? Object oriented features. Object orientation we understood, right? What is the requirement to go for object orientation? Object oriented programming languages. Now we are going to understand like what there? Object oriented features. Right, sir. Now understand the point here. To describe the nature of the object orientation, to describe the nature of the object orientation, the object orientation has provided the following features. What are the various features which are provided by the object orientation? The very first one is what there? Class. Class is one of the object oriented feature. Next one is what there? Object. Third one is what there? Encapsulation. And the fourth one is what there? Abstraction. And the fifth one is what there? Inheritance. Next one is polymorphism. Then after this, message passing. But remember it, this message passing you may not see at any context here in our object oriented features. Max we can neglect this one, message passing. Nobody will count it, but it is one of the object oriented feature. Just a definition we are going to understand now. Not to worry for it. Okay, right. What are the various object oriented features now? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and message passing. Right. Now observe carefully. What is what about all the features we are going to understand today. Just overview of all the object oriented features we are going to understand first. After that I will take each and every feature, then I'm going to talk about what there each and every feature clearly. Right, sir. Now on the basis of the above object oriented features, there are two types of the programming languages. On the basis of the above object oriented features, there are two types of programming languages. What are the two types of programming languages? No, first one is object based programming languages, and the second one is what there object oriented programming languages. Right, sir. Now there are two types of programming languages on the basis of the object oriented features, object based programming languages, object oriented programming languages. Right, sir. Now here we are getting one important interview question. What is that question here we are getting there? What is the difference between object oriented programming languages, or else object based programming languages, and the object oriented programming languages? So what are the differences between these two, object oriented programming languages and object based programming languages? Right, sir. Answer is very simple. Understand this clearly. Object based programming languages are able to follow almost all the object oriented features excluding inheritance. Excluding what there inheritance. Object based programming languages are able to follow almost all the object oriented features excluding what their inheritance. Inheritance is not possible. Examples here we can understand. Snowball is one of the example, the old object based programming language where inheritance is not available. That is the first object based programming language, Snowball. And a little bit we can understand it is what there JavaScript. Little bit we can understand what there JavaScript, but 100% we cannot say that, but still it is available like this. In general we are able to say object based programming languages example is what there JavaScript. Most of the people are saying that JavaScript, but perfect object based programming language is what there Snowball. Understand my point clearly? Leave this one, this is an example kid. But what about this object oriented programming languages? Object oriented programming languages are able to follow almost all the object oriented features including inheritance, including what their inheritance. Right, sir. No need to think much about the examples for it, no. Right, sir. What are the various examples for object oriented programming languages? What examples are available here? There you can understand C++, Java, then what next one here? Python. All these things are like what there object oriented programming languages, where we are able to have what their inheritance feature is available. In everywhere we are able to have what their inheritance concept. Try to understand this clearly. Okay, right, sir. Now these are the points here we have to understand. Only the point here. Still I have not given any explanation about like what their inheritance. I have not given any information about the point. Just only the point is what there a set of programming languages are available They are following all the object oriented features excluding inheritance. They are what? They're object based. Some object related programming languages are available. They are following what? Their inheritance also along with all the object oriented features. Then that is what their object oriented programming languages. That's enough. This is exactly the difference between object based and object oriented programming languages. Got it now? Simple theory. Now leave this one here. After that, I have one more question. Now this is an important interview question at fresher level. Try to put more concentration. Observe carefully. Gradually, I'm moving towards what their main concepts of the object orientation. Slowly, we are moving towards what their main concepts of the object orientation. Now the concept is what there. What are the differences between class and object? What are the differences between class and object? This is the question here we have to follow. All right, sir. I'll give some analysis. Now try to understand it. What is a class and what is an object? Before going to start your object orientation concepts, you must have very good clarity, very good knowledge on these points here. What is a class? What is an object? You must understand it. Without having knowledge on these, no, we are unable to understand the remaining part of the object orientation. So put more concentration to understand what is a class and what is an object clearly. Right, sir. Now let's understand it now. I'll take some example. Now try to observe carefully. Right, sir. Now, for example, in every batch I used to say this example, but put more concentration here. I want to take something else like what there, some universe I'm going to take. In universe, I want to take some living things. Observe carefully. I want to take some living things. Just only three only I'm going to take, not like all categories. Only three categories I'm going to take. The first one is what there. Right, sir. Then what is the first one here we are going to take? No, human beings, for example. That human beings I want to say like what are their persons, for example. Simple, right? Either human beings or persons. Leave it. That another thing is like what there animals. Just example here I'm telling to you, now try to recognize it. What I'm trying to say, animals. And the third one is what there, another one. So well-known one. Another one here I'm going to take it like what there, birds. That's it. Now you have to understand clearly what is a class and what is an object. All of you understand it now? I'm asking this question to you, now try to answer for it. In the universe, three categorizations here I have taken. My question is, how we provided these three categorizations actually? How we are saying that the persons is a separated category? How we are saying that the animals is a separate category and birds is a separate category? How we are providing this division? On the basis of what we are providing this division? On the basis of their characteristics, on the basis of their features, on the basis of their common qualities, on the basis of that only we provided as a separate group. Am I right or not? Let's say for example, if we take the persons, if we take the persons now, what properties are available for the persons here? Simple example I'm telling there. Two legs. Am I right? And two hands, and so on and so on and so on. No tail, right? One head, no tail, right? And so on. After that, some behaviors are also be common for all the persons. What are the various behaviors which are very common? What behaviors are very common, sir? Your favorite behavior. Am I right? Okay, another important behavior. Next one is drink. Can I provide parameters now? Is that the drink? What do you want to drink now? KFC mineral water, sir. No? Okay, fine. Like this, these are the various common behaviors what we are having. Observe carefully. So these commonalities are available under this particular persons. For all the persons, these are very common. Because of that reason only, that persons is what there, a separate category, a separate classification. Similarly, For animals also, if we take now, how many legs are available? 4 legs. How many hands are available? 0 hands. Next one is how many tails are available here? No, 1 tail, and so on and so on. Sleep, okay, fine. Eat, okay, fine. Drink is also be okay. Then default behavior for all the animals is what? There, swim. So these are all common properties and behaviors for all the animals. That's why that animal is what? There, a separate category. Next one. Similarly, for birds here, we are going to take how many legs are available? 2 legs. And how many wings are available there? 2 wings and 1 tail, and so on. Now here, what are the common behaviors here? Sleep. Sleep is possible or not possible? Definitely it's possible, right? Fine. Next one is what they eat, drink, swim. Okay, but I don't know about the swim. But one common behavior is what there? Fly. These are commonalities for what their birds. See, for each and every category, a set of elements are available. They are having common properties and behaviors. That's why that thing is declared as what there? A separate classification. Their persons is a separate classification, animals is a separate classification, and birds is what there? A separate classification. Got it or not? So in the word classification, separate the first 5 letters. No, in the classification, separate the first 5 letters here. That is what there? A class. That is what there? A class. Observe carefully. Now persons is what there? A separate classification, means that it is a separate class. Animals is a separate classification, so it is what there? A class. Next one is birds is a separate classification, so it is what there? A class. Now tell me, now we are getting the definition for class. Now we are getting definition for what their class. What is class? What exactly the meaning of class? Observe carefully. Class is a group of elements having common properties and behaviors. Persons is a group of elements having common properties and behaviors. Animals is a group which has the common properties and behaviors. Birds is a group which has common properties and behaviors. Not only these persons, animals, and birds. No. If we take the persons, for example, if we take the technical words, student is a group representation, it is a class. Employee is a group representation, it is a class. Next one is what there? Account is a group representation, it is a class. Transaction is a group representation, it is a class. All these are like what there? Classes. Now the definition for the classes is very clear. Understand it clearly. A group of elements, are simply class is a group of elements having common properties and behavior, having common properties and behaviors, right? So now this is exactly the meaning of like what there? A class. Again and again I'm telling there, if any group representation with common properties and behaviors, that we can declare as what there? A class. All of you are getting clarity on this class? What is a class now? Right. What is an object? Listen carefully. Persons is a group representation. Am I right or not? Persons is a group representation. In that person's group representation, myself is a person. I'm having physical properties and physical behaviors. Real properties and real behaviors are available with me. Myself is a person. I have an identity. I have some physical appearance. My properties are physical and my behaviors are physical. This is an object. This is what they're an object. Animals, if we take now, animals. One particular animal, if we take now, it has physical properties and behaviors. That particular individual element among the group of elements having physical properties and physical behaviors means that real properties and real behaviors, then that element among the group of elements is called as what there is an object. Object is not any another one, just it is a particular group. For example, book is a group, book is a class. Where Java book, a specific book is available, that is what there? An object. Student is a class. Student is what the group representation. You are the student. You are the student. You are an object. Got my point or not? That's the meaning of that class and object. Now tell me, what is an object actually? Object is an individual element among the group of elements having real properties and real behaviors. Having real properties and real behaviors. This is exactly the meaning of class and an object. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity on this. What is a class and what is an object? No? Okay, fine. One more point I'm telling you. Now, observe carefully. Listen, observe carefully. No? Persons. One what? Myself is a person. Second case. Now tell me here in between these two, which one is virtual and which one is real? For example, persons, what I have used there. Then you are a person, I'm saying that, secondary. Then which one is virtual, which one is real? You are real. But person is what there? Virtuality. Understand my point, you know. Similarly, class is virtual. Class is what there? Virtual. But whereas object is what there? Real. Class is virtual, whereas object is what there? Real. Get my point or not? Right, sir. Next one. Now see this diagram here, all of you know. Persons is a class where a group of properties are available, a group of behaviors are available. Both are enclosed as a single one or not? Both are encapsulated as a single one or not? Now, similarly, in the case of animals, their properties and behaviors, both are encapsulated as a single one, that is a class. Here also these are like what their properties, these are behaviors, both are encapsulated, that is combined as a single one. So this combination is called as encapsulation. The combination is called what there? Encapsulation. Class is virtual. Virtual encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. That is what there? A class. But object is a physical. Object is a physical encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. Everybody put more concentration here now. Now the point is what there? Class is the virtual encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. Right, sir. Properties and behaviors. Class is a virtual encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. Right. Whereas object is what? Object is the real encapsulation or physical encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. This is third point here we have to understand. Fourth one. Now understand this point here. All of you know. Again the same example. Person. You are the person. Now in between these two, which one is a generalization and which one is a specialization? Now tell me. Person. You are the person. Which one is a generalization and which one is a specialization? Now tell me. Right, son. Now here I'm telling to you, persons is what their generalization. You are the person. Myself is a person. Someone is a person there. All these are what their specialization. So the point is what there. Class is generalization. Class is what there? Generalization. Whereas object is what there? Specialization. Object is what there? Specialization. Class is generalization, whereas object is what there? Specialization. Observe carefully. For this, right, one more point here I'm telling to you. Right, sir. One question here I'm asking to you, now try to answer for it. How many of you are the followers of Mahatma Gandhi? I'll not put any context like beating at one side and showing other side. No, I'm not thinking about it. Except that, how many of you are the followers of Mahatma Gandhi? Arey, he's the father of our nation. Nobody. This is a problem in India. This is a problem in India. Outside of India, everybody are the followers of Mahatma Gandhi. But in India, nobody is a follower of Mahatma Gandhi. Arey, ex-president of America, he is a follower of Mahatma Gandhi, Barack Obama. Ex-president of South Africa, he is a follower of Mahatma Gandhi. Understand it now? Even that, who is that now? Nelson Mandela is the greatest person, right? Greatest personality. who is a follower of Mahatma Gandhi. But no Indian is a follower of Mahatma Gandhi. How many of you are followers of Narendra Modi? Perfect. Nobody. No, I think we are doing overaction. I given vote for that party only, right? Now they are winning, right? Okay. Yora Singha. Who's it? Who's it? Okay, good. And similarly, how many of you are the followers of Swami Vivekananda? Definitely. More members. Yeah, raising your hand is not sufficient. You have to answer for my next question. Why is it? Why you are the follower of Swami Vivekananda? Because of his powerful speeches. Still in YouTube we can see that Swami Vivekananda original voice, that original appearance. In America, I think so might be there is a conduct, there is a meet. In that meet, might his time is only 15 minutes, but he took nearly 45 minutes of time. Even the event organizers have not stopped him. Then here they are in a separated trance. They are trying to listen his voice and his speech. Because of that motivational kind of speeches only, majority of the youngsters in India, majority of the youngsters in India, they are the followers of Swami Vivekananda. I read in some social media, some Facebook pages. No, I saw might be one kind of thing what he has done, the mimic what he has done in that meet. No, all the country people they are keeping their books, so their country represented books on a table. The first option went to do what there. Swami Vivekananda has given Bhagavad Gita on the table as a first book. Over that Bhagavad Gita, all other country people they provided their books. A book of a pack of books are available. A stack of books are available. Then by seeing the stack of books now, then very bottom book is what the Bhagavad Gita representing India. Then everybody they are giving comment on Swami Vivekananda. India is always at bottom position only. There no development, nothing is going on in India like that. Then immediately what Swami Vivekananda has done there, he went to that bookshelf. There just he shuffled the bottom book. Just he adjust the bottom book. Then what happened there? All other books are fell down to the earth. Then he shown this is the power of India. Yeah, now we can think about it. If you observe throughout the world, if you observe in an area, in any area, in every area, Indians are ruling the market. Yeah, you can observe this. Even NASA, if you take now, majority of the sciences are coming from what there India. But unfortunate thing is what there, India country is not using their services, but other countries are using Indian services effectively. Everywhere, you can understand it now. Everywhere, Indians are playing crucial role. Take IT industry, sir. Or else maybe take the giant entrepreneurs in outside now. Who is the CEO of Google at present? Still that Sundar Pichai or any other person now? Microsoft, who is that person there? Maybe then at present who is that I don't know, but Satya Nadella, right, is one of the person there, right? Still he's the same person, right? The CEO of Microsoft, right? Understand the giant companies are having are led by that Indians only. So that was true. Why? Because of so many factors. Because of so many factors, Indians are ruling the market. Indians are ruling the outside environment also. Even the best example, the World Cup cricket matches are going on, right? USA is the greatest country throughout the world. Am I right or not? But where? Who are the players in USA team? 90% of the people are what there from India only. 90% of the players are coming from what there India only. Understand it now? Not only that, in different countries, West Indies, if we take now, half of the team players are what there Indians only. Indian origin people, right? South Africa, if we take now, there also one or two members are Indians now. But in India, purely Indians are going on. Understand my point? Of course, the politics are also be very good in India, right? No other players are getting the chances now. Fine, because of some other reasons. Now think about it. So anyway, then the point is what there. Here, my required point is what there. Majority of the followers of Swami Vivekananda. Why? Because you like or you inspired. You inspired a lot from what there Swami Vivekananda. Understand it here. So Swami Vivekananda made a set of rules and regulations. Is a role model. So you are following the rules and regulations. So you are the instances of the Swami Vivekananda. Understand it clearly. Swami Vivekananda is a role model, is a model, is a role model. But you are the followers of Swami Vivekananda. So you are the instances of the Swami Vivekananda. So the point here, what I am telling there, Swami Vivekananda is like a class. defines rules and regulations. Defines rules and regulations is a class. But what are these objects? No, you're all followers of Swami Vivekananda, so you are the objects of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda is a model, but you are the objects of what there? Swami Vivekananda. Answer my point clearly. No? So now the point is what there? Class is a model or a blueprint. Class is a model or blueprint for the objects. But whereas what is an object actually? Object is an instance of the class. Object is an instance of the class. Simply object is a one appearance of the class, one physical thing of the class. No? So class is a model or blueprint for an object, but object is an instance of the class. Class will define the rules and regulations. Object will follow the rules and regulations. Class will give the virtuality of the rules and regulations, but object will provide physicality of what their rules and regulations. Object is having physical implementations of the rules and regulations, but class will define the rules and regulations. Understand my point? So these are various differences between the class and an object. Now tell me, what are the various differences which are available? Class is a group of elements having common properties and behaviors, whereas object is an individual element among the group of elements having real properties and behaviors. Class is virtual, object is real. Class is a virtual encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. Object is a real encapsulation of the properties and behaviors. Class is a generalization, whereas object is specialization. Class is a model or blueprint for the objects, whereas object is an instance of the class. That's it, sir. Now these are about like what their classes and objects, the differences clearly. Okay. Right, sir. I want to stop this session here itself, and tomorrow I'll continue the remaining object-oriented features. Up to now, we completed only what is class, what is object. Up to that only here we understood. Remaining concepts we are going to understand clearly. Okay. Now the story. Now the situation is what there. Just within 5 minutes of time, 5 to 10 minutes break you can take. No. After that, those who are attending that 7:30 classes there, new members and as well as previously some of you are available. Today I'm going to take a separate topic. That is what there. Steps to prepare first Java program. How to download Java software, how to install Java software, that I'm going to take now at 7:30. 7:30 in the sense 7:40 or 7:45. I'll start the class there, then try to attend for that class now. Just within few minutes of time, take break and come back. I will take the class now. Those who already completed the steps to prepare first Java application, not required to attend, you may leave from the classroom. But remaining members, you have to sit and take some break and come back now. Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys. And those who are attending in online, just 1 minute, guys. 1 minute, guys. Link is different. Link is different, guys. Link is different. Uh, Guys, then just give a moment of time. Will you attend in the same link, guys? Will you attend in the same link the next class? That means that 7:30. Will you attend in the same link? Yeah, better to attend in the same link, guys. Then whatever the link I'm using there, then try to utilize that same link for the next class. Attend this. I use the same link for the next class. Okay, that 7:30 class. What I'm going to take now? Steps to prepare first application. That is steps to prepare first application. Regularly, I'm taking 7:30 class for some students and new members also. Those who are attending these demo classes, you also use the same link to attend for the next class. Just I'm going to shut down it and again I will open it. Now try to use the same link, guys. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Use the same link. We are going to utilize it. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.